I'm Sandra Parker. I want to share with you 3 principles that underlie growth when we're looking at personal development and emotional growth. I come with a basic assumption that we're built to grow. We're wired to grow. There's a deep life force in us calling us to become all that we're meant to be. But like many things in nature, growth follows some kind of basic laws. And there are 3 laws of growth that are worth knowing. And the first one is that growth is only possible when we feel safe. And that's because survival trumps growth. And survival is the exact opposite of growth. Survival is a situation when we're in danger and everything in us is oriented to surviving. And so we close down, hunker down, orient outward, get ready to leave. Even in our bodies, the regenerative growth part of the body, the viscera, the organs, slow down while the exoskeleton is enlivened so that we can fight or flee. Similarly, from a psychological point of view, when we feel threatened, we orient outward and we leave our inner experience. And that's functional if we're in danger. Mother Nature set that up for a reason. Survival trumps growth. If your survival is on the table, growth is out the window. And so the first principle of growth is that you need to actually be feeling safe in order to grow. And there are certain conditions that foster safety, important conditions. Importantly, I would say warmth, interest, and non-judgment are conditions that make us feel safe so that we can grow. But the first law of growth that I want to just reiterate here is that survival trumps growth. And if you feel or believe you're in danger, you cannot grow. The second principle of growth, I'm speaking about growth right now from a psychological point of view, is that it's relational. There's a space and there's one connecting with another. Another word for growth could be integration. Integration comes from the word integer, which means whole number, and it means wholeness. But it's wholeness that comes out of separate parts that come together and connect. So it's separation with linkage. Growth is increasing connection amongst separate parts. And so it's relationships. It's really interrelationships. And the first growth-promoting relationship, of course, is between the parent and the child as we're developing. Later in our development, when we have the ability to have a relationship with ourselves, when our brain is sufficiently developed at around puberty, that we can actually reflect on our experience, we can have a relationship between me and me. And that relationship grows me. And then later in our lives, other relationships with other people as well. It's the idea of separating in order to connect, integrating, is very central to growth. And importantly, in terms of this idea of to have and to hold, the separation that I often make and help people make is separating from the body in order to connect with the body. The idea that you're not your body, that you are a consciousness living in a body, and this body is your home. And that as you appreciate that and you actually get the separation, you deepen your connection rather than disconnecting and dissociating from the body, regarding the body either as a thing to disregard and abuse or a thing that tells everybody really who you are because you look a certain way. It's actually this sacred sentient organism that is creating a place for you to live. It's actually the most loving creature you could imagine. It gives its whole life to you so that you can have an experience of being in a body. And in appreciating that, there's this responsibility that comes up for us where we want to take care of this body, to care for this body, to care about this body, and to tune in. And holding the body when it's having the experience of signal anxiety is a very loving and growth-promoting act. It's a relationship that grows us. So the second principle is that growth is relational, and to have and to hold is a relationship that grows you by holding your experience in your body with a part of you, your frontal lobes, your consciousness. The third principle of growth, the third law of growth, is that growth is, in fact, experiential. It is not conceptual or thought-based. And learning is what we often mistake for growth. And learning is a wonderful thing. It's great to learn things. Learning is when we bring something new into us. We take in information and we learn it. And one of the lovely things about learning is it's instantaneous. You didn't have the information and now you do. And you've learned something. Growth is different. Growth is experiential. Growth is slower. Growth is organic. It's biological. It's in the body. It comes out of living experiences and reflecting on those experiences. So we need experiences to grow, and we also need the time to reflect on those experiences in order to grow. So the difference between just having an insight into something, which is fantastic, or learning something, those are all cognitive and they're fantastic. We love that stuff. But when we really are talking about growth, something that we are emerging like a flower opening, like any other creature of nature, that is experiential, that is lived in the body. It takes time and it needs to be felt. And when we have and hold our experience of signal anxiety and feel that, that is an experience that grows us.